And it's great to have you join us in another edition of your favorite weekend business program on Channels Television, Capital Markets. I'm Ladi Williams. Let's begin the show with a quick review of major global stock markets performance at the end of the week. Major bourses around the globe ended the Friday's trading session mostly lower. Traders focus their attention on the escalating dispute between Israel and Iran. This comes after Israel launched a limited direct military attack on Iranian soil early Friday morning, in retaliation for the barrage of missile attacks carried out by Iran last weekend. In the United States, the Nasdaq Composite dipped by more than 2%, while the S&P 500 dropped 0.88%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended the day with a 0.56% gain. And in Europe, the UK's FTSE 100 index gained about 0.18%, while Germany's DAX dropped 0.56%, and France's CAC index closed the day in red by 0.1%. And across Asia Pacific, red was the color for the indexes in the region. Japan's Nikkei 225 was down 2.66%. And on Friday, the country released its March inflation data, with the headline inflation rate coming in at 2.7%, down from 2.8% seen in February. Elsewhere in Asia, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was down 0.95%, while China's Shanghai Composite Index lost 0.29%. All right, let's turn our focus now to U.S. markets. Joining us for this is Olumide Adesina, financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide. Great to have you. So we see the Nasdaq has fallen more than 2%. That's the sixth straight loss. We also see the Magnificent Seven shedding about $1 trillion. Why is the Mag 7 struggling?
Ladi, it was risk of this week. It was the worst week since October 2022, and pretty much there were a lot of factors that amplified such narrative. Just like we treated the big seven, which include Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. They lost, and Tesla, they lost about $1 trillion market value. Total cumulative losses for the week was about $1.3 trillion. And that was the fact that the appetite for safe haven assets like gold and the US dollar remained strong. Also, the unrest in the Middle East, Israel, Iran, kept investors anxious. And, there were some peculiar micros, like Tesla, for example, downgrade from Deutsche Bank on the fact that the car maker might not meet expectation. The stock is down 14% this week. You also look at Microsoft, it was the only $3 trillion company, has lost that position. So the dynamics have changed. NVIDIA also was a cracker on Friday. We saw the stock tumbling. It lost the $2 billion market valuation. In fact, Google is more valuable than it is. And when you also look at health stocks from Pfizer, from LLE, you saw down. And it also speaks that despite the fact that there are strong fundamentals in certain companies like Netflix, the stock was still down 9%. So it's pretty much safe to say that it was just a bad week for equity markets, including the Nigerian stock market.
Yeah, definitely risk-off sentiment actually settling in for the second quarter of 2024 this time. But what are you expecting for U.S. markets next week and the U.S. dollar index?
I think it's going to be a very busy week. The big names are going to announce their earnings, Tesla, Microsoft, and so more than 25 stocks. So that definitely will create some buzz. But IMF's outlook that stated that the United States inflation might be a bit sticky, and the US has strong growth, might mean the US Fed might delay interest rate cuts, and that will definitely keep the dollar at the upward movement. And finally, I think it's safe to say that the year-to-date of most of these stocks are still positive. So it seems that the market is readjusted, and I think earnings will really position some of these stocks. So investors are keen on looking at Tesla, Google, and Apple. So I think it's a wait-and-see approach that will really determine the heuristic direction. But it's going to be an amazing volatile week.
All right, definitely be looking out for how it plays out next week for most of these markets that we track. Thank you so much, Olumide Adesina, financial market analyst.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get a sense of other stories now. See, shareholders in groups in Nigeria's equities market have commended the overall impressive financial performance of Foremost Financial Services giant Access Holdings PLC in the 2023 annual report. At the end of the group's second annual general meeting, which was held in Lagos, the presidents of the shareholders associations across the northwest and eastern parts of Nigeria also ratified the resolutions and motions raised at this year's gathering. The shareholders' chiefs also shed light on the benefit from the AGM and highlighted some of the expectations for the upcoming meeting.
It's very unfortunate that Herbert is not alive to witness this day. But however, life continues and the bank continues to grow.
The board members are very knowledgeable on risk management. And now we have an MD that is also, we are confident that she will be able to manage the risk. You should also be aware that CBN, when they come for investigation, every year they come for supervision. And one of the things that they pay a lot of attention is the issue of risk management.
Access Bank have done what other organizations have not done, in terms of putting infrastructure in place, with the whole code they are in today. They have a lot of subsidiary bringing the money. All the other platforms they have set up, is bringing the money. And that means dividend will continue to increase. They will continue to reward shareholders. And that's why people should key in and invest in assets without regret, making your investment in asset choice. I think it's the next destination for investments. They have done it in the past, they will do it again. Whether CBN added to raise 600 billion or whatever, Access Bank will raise those money without no doubt.
We approved the resolution today to raise 365 billion naira additional capital. And you know what? What they are not doing it outside is through rights issue. They are not seeking for any other, inflows. Where it's within the existing shareholders that they want to raise this capital. So this shows you that Access Bank is a bank to trust. It's a bank that will continue to grow and it's a bank that is very, very strategic and professionally run.
A shares of gambling for many years, 8 naira, 6 naira, 7 naira, but now Access this year, January 2024, touched 30 naira, 70 kobo, which is which is what we call capital appreciation. Apart from dividend, we get capital appreciation, because if you buy it less than that price, you have got capital appreciation, and it's part of the majority things that shareholder can benefit: capital appreciation and dividend. So by God willing, 2024 AGM, which will be the third annual general meeting, we hope we will see more dividend than this year.
All right, let's look at some new appointments now. See, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Emomotomi Agawa as the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. According to a statement by the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, the President also named Mairiga Aliyu Katuka as the Chairman House of the Commission. At the same time, President Tinubu has approved the appointment of Mr. Bola Jomale, Executive Commissioner, Operations, Mrs. Samia Hassan Usman, Executive Commissioner, Corporate Services, Frana Chukwogo, Executive Commissioner, Legal and Enforcement, as well as Mr. Lekon Bello and Mr. Kasimo Garba Kerfi as non-executive commissioners to the SEC's board. The statement further mentions that the President expects all new members of the Commission to bear their wealth of experience and competence in advancing the Commission's core mandate of developing a dynamic, transparent, and efficient capital market that will both investor confidence and contribute measurably to the nation's economic development. All right, let's head to our local bourse now. See, the domestic stock market ended the third trading week of April in the red, as profit-taking on mostly banking stocks continued to take toll on equities' overall performance at the NGX. As a result, the market's main index fell by 2.71%, bringing the month-to-date and year-to-date performance at negative 4.8% and 33.1% accordingly, while the market cap reduced by 1.5 trillion naira. Sectoral performance was also mostly negative as the banking index recorded the most significant weekly loss, followed by the insurance counter, industrial goods, and the consumer goods indices, while the oil and gas index was unchanged. However, despite the overall market decline, trading activity level was positive with a 41.1% increase in total volume of shares and 12.8% increase week on week in the overall value of trades. Morrison Industries led a pack of 13 gainers, adding about 45.31%, while GTCO topped the list of 62 decliners with a 19.08% decline, while the trio of Axis Bank, UBA, and Zenith Bank were the top three most actively traded stocks for the week. All right, let's get a sense of major happenings in Nigeria's capital market this week. That's where we're shifting focus now. Joining us is Samuel Shomi, capital market executive at Iron Global Markets Limited, joining me right here in the studio. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So quite an eventful week here at the markets, and
Yes.
looking at it from a regulatory perspective, we see the SEC have a new leadership, at
Yes,
this time.
yes,
Even
yes.
though the immediate past DG, his tenure was supposed to end, I think, sometime in 2025. So
Yes.
this was not expected, I guess, to some people. So how are you seeing this move, at this time? By the
Well,
Tinubu
to a very
administration?
large extent, I believe it's a right move in the right direction. Over the years, the operators have always been agitating for having, a fair share when it comes to the board, formation for the commission. And this time around, I think we have a reasonable number of operators that have vast experience in the market coming to take, positions on the board of the SEC. And I think it's a very good one for the market because this board have people with requisite expertise, technocrats in the market. They now have them on the board. So they will be able to provide adequate, knowledge as to what the capital market, truly deserves. So with this board in place now, I think we are going to see a lot of positive things coming up upstream in the future. Talking about the new DG now, Mr. Dr. Motimomi Agama. Is somebody we've known for a very long time, and he has really contributed immensely to the development of our market. He used to be the managing director of the Nigerian Capital Market Institute, which is an arm of SEC that does, that regulates, that deals with capacity development in the market. They are the one that conduct examination for sponsor individuals, and these are the people that SEC actually recognize as the real professional in the market. So he has handled that institution for a very reasonable number of years, and he's been able to come up with so many reforms in terms of curriculum development, and the way he has managed that institution. He's been very, very fantastic. We also see the person of Alhaji Kofi coming on board. Alhaji Kofi is a seasoned expert in the Nigerian capital market. This is somebody who has almost all the licenses. He is a chartered stockbroker. He owns a stockbroking firm. He has an issuing license, firm as well. You understand? So he has requisite knowledge as to what the operator actually need for them to be able to thrive, and for us to have a very robust capital market that will be supportive of Nigerian economy. And if you also look at somebody like Mr. Bola Jumale, who was once the MD of NASD, the equity OTC market, we also we are well aware of the good work he did while he was there. He did a lot of work. I got qualified to be a trader on NASD while he was there, and we know the kind of rigorous exercise that we are meant to go through, just to make sure that we fortify the market with people with requisite knowledge and expertise. So it's a very good step in the right direction, and I think this is going to benefit the Nigerian capital market and the Nigerian economy at large.
Looking at the outgoing DG, how do you describe his leadership in a few words?
Well, everybody who has had opportunity to lead the SEC in one capacity or the other have done their bit towards the development of the market. What the SEC stands for is investor protection and keeping the integrity of the market. And in the last couple of years, we have seen a capital market that has evolved very, very strongly. Now, investors' confidence is back in the market. We can see the direction that our capital market is moving towards. You understand? So everybody have done their bit, only that one cannot be there for life. There will always be a time that, definitely this kind of shake-up will come. And when it comes, you just have to take it in good faith and you move on.
And I know he's still part of the MPC, committee. That's the outgoing,
which is another good thing. Now, he's joining the MPC. The capital market has an important role to play. The capital market is the barometer for measuring economic performance. Being a member of the MPC, you are there to formulate monetary, policies. So every monetary policy, either positive or negative, will definitely impact the capital market as well. You understand? So he has both experience now. So whatever policy that is going to come up from the MPC side, he should be able to measure how it's going to impact the capital market and how it's going to affect, the living standard of Nigeria, right, and protect the interest of the investor at large. Okay,
well, we'll continue the conversation in a little bit. Still a lot to unpack, at this time with happenings in the capital market.
A lot is happening there.
So much happening. I'm still going to have Mr. Samuel show me. Still going to remain here right after this break. Do stay with us. This is Capital Market. Welcome back to watching Capital Market live on Channels Television. I still have with me right here Mr. Samuel Shomi, Capital Market Executive, Iron Global Markets. We're talking about major happenings in our address capital markets this week. Thank you for staying on. And definitely another big story. Nascon notified the NGX and investing public that the proposed merger with Dangote Sugar and Dangote Rice, that has been suspended, at this time. I'm sure the markets will be surprised by this move.
Definitely, the market is surprised. But if you look at the notice that was sent to the market, you could see that they clearly stated the reason for the suspension, which is as a result of the comments and the recommendation that the commission made on that transaction. The other time I told you that the commission, the major role they play is investor protection and keeping the integrity of the market. So for the board and the management of Nascon to deem it fit to say, let us suspend this, it could mean that the comment made by the commission is very, very huge and substantial to the extent that they deem it fit to say, let us suspend it based on this. Although we don't have the details of the comment and recommendation, but for them to come out and say, we are suspending this activity, it means something huge has come up, which would definitely have to be with, let us protect the interest of the market, let us protect the interest of the investor, the shareholder, and the potential, acquirer, which is Dangote Rice Limited, which, according to the report, is a non-operating entity for now. You understand? So I think it is very, very good that it is coming, although coming very, shocking, but we just have to live by it, and we hope that very soon we'll see a positive move on that transaction again.
I'm talking about this suspension. It will definitely shape investor sentiment going into next week. Do you expect negative sentiment from investors?
Not really. You understand? It's a peculiar transaction, but a lot is happening in the market now, and investors.
I'm sure some traders, bought, Nascon because they heard about the merger.
Yes, definitely. The market is information driven. And when this kind of information comes to the market, definitely some segment of the market will feel bad and they may want to let me exit my position pending the time they will revisit the transaction, then I can go in. You understand? But be that as it may, market would definitely get back to its normal, self. You understand? There is a lot of confidence in the market now. There's a lot of confidence, so we can be very sure that this is not going to, send a kind of a doom to the market.
All right, let's talk about the Naira now at this time. We've seen, positive sentiment from the end of first quarter, into April, but we're starting to see a pullback, if you call it that, for the Naira at this time. Talk to me about why we're seeing, this pullback now. Immediately we got that report from Bloomberg about the foreign reserves, hitting a new low, and they attributed that to the defense of the Naira, even though we see the CBN governor saying that they're not using the reserves to defend the Naira. So how you see it?
FX is a financial instrument, it's an asset, it's a financial asset. At one point or the other, every asset will go through correction. You understand? So I see it as more of a market correction. Like you rightly said, throughout the first quarter, we see the Naira rallying as a result of a series of reforms that the CBN came up with, which were part of what we recommended, towards the tail end of last year and early this year. We said it that if the CBN can, engage deeply with market participants, lay the rules before them, then you begin to roll out your rules. And also conscientize every market participant that we don't have option than to defend our own currency, because that is our identity. You understand? I think that goes a long way to speak to the minds of every market operator, and everybody tries to now live by the new rules. And we saw the reaction to that. It gave rise to a positive rally on the side of Naira. So nothing lasts forever. The rallying will not continue without correction at one point or the other. Just like the decline too. Once an asset is declining, to get to a support level that it will not go below, then there will always be a resistance point as well, which it might not be able to break at some point. But after little correction in the market, then the rally process can continue. You understand? But going forward, I still look forward to a positive move on the side of Naira against other currencies. By the time we'll begin to see positive moves from the real sector in terms of our production. You understand? By the time the likes of Dangote refinery starts full operation, and we can put an end to importation of major petroleum products, and we begin to buy in Naira within our own economy, that will reduce the demand of forex for those products that we import that side. So as demand is declining from the FX side, and we can sustain this level of supply, then you could definitely expect another round of rally on the part of the Naira.
Right, I did see a funny comment earlier. Somebody said maybe because the central bank governor is out of town, in Washington, maybe that's why we saw that weakness in the Naira. But that's actually funny, definitely. But where are you seeing, what performance are you expecting in this second quarter for the Naira?
Oh, in second quarter, majorly the month of May is a very critical point. It's a very critical month during the 12-month calendar. Across various sectors of the economy that I have worked in, month of May has always been at least the high point in terms of movement. Yes, it's a very good point for sales. You understand? You can expect high revenue, high performance for the month of May. You understand? So if we are anticipating that there's going to be high productivity in May, because majority of the companies now, they've seen their first quarter performance, so they can measure if you have fared very well. If you have not, you can rejiggle for the month of April. Then by May, you should be able to intensify action where you are lagging. You understand? So, and that would definitely generate a lot of positive movement for you. So going into May, I'm thinking of a strong Naira again. You understand? I just see this little drawback as a bit of correction. You understand? And I am not foreseeing any bad.
That means you don't see sell in May and go away
no,
for the Naira. All right, let's look at the NGX now. We see the all-share index has dropped over 20%. That's for the banking counter after the announcement of recapitalization, by the CBN for Nigerian banks. Is this really why we're seeing the banking stocks bleed so much in the market?
No. Like I said, at some point you should expect correction in the market. You understand? If you look at
the market will look for any excuse to take profit.
Definitely. If you look at the way the banking stocks have rallied in the last 6 9 months, it's been awesome. We have seen huge, over 300% rally in some stock in the banking sector. You understand? So investors are very, very rational. And like I said, the market is information driven. And what defiles or define our profit position or loss position in the market is our point of entry and our point of exit. You understand? So it's a zero-sum game. You understand? The gains of some people are the losses of other people. You understand? So the rationale is that don't be too greedy. You understand? If you have made up to 300% and I want to just cash out now, bearing in mind interest rate is going up, so people might just decide to go and position in fixed income. Pending the time, the banks will begin their full operation in terms of capital raise.
Right.
You understand? So by the time that starts, people will begin to exit fixed income instrument again to position in equity. So it's always like
the cycle plays out.
Yes. So the market will always continue to oscillate high and low.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It was great having your perspective. Mr. Samuel Shomi, Capital Market Executive, Iron Global Markets Limited. Thank you for coming on.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. So that's the show for this weekend. Thank you for watching. I'm Ladi Williams from Mina Team right here at Channels HQ's. Bye for now.